Welcome back to 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitske. Topping our News at Noon, a scary and bizarre scene right outside our KGET studios. You saw it interrupt our live 11 o'clock newscast last night. A car burst into flames as white crosses lined our back parking lot, and investigators say it appears to be arson. 17's Eitan Wallace joins us live outside the KGET studios downtown, where it all unfolded.
And Nicole, good afternoon. One woman is under arrest after everything that happened here last night, and this is what the scene looks like right now. The sidewalk is charred. The part of the street is left in black. BPD says just after 11 o'clock last night, just outside the KGET parking lot, a woman placed 13 wooden crosses, each between 5 and 7 feet tall, against our back parking lot gate, and then she lit a car on fire. Wedding gowns were draped on 2 of the crosses, and a man's suit jacket was on another. Before all of this, our surveillance cameras captured a vehicle driving in the alleyway just south of KGET. The driver parked the car outside the parking lot on M Street. Around the time of the fire, our cameras also show a woman walking barefoot around the station. Our rooftop camera captured it all, the flames stretching 20 feet in the air. That prompted BPD to evacuate our building as 17's Moses Small was delivering the news live at 11 o'clock.
Now we do have a bit of breaking news right outside the 17 News studios. We have a vehicle fire that is reported right outside of our studio in downtown Bakersfield. And we're saddened to report we do have to evacuate the studios here, and so we will be back on 17 News.
The 3 KGET employees inside at the time safely evacuated, and there were no injuries. And new today, BPD arrested one woman in connection with all of this. She is 40-year-old Amber Hernandez of Bakersfield. She has been charged with a felony and is due in court on Wednesday. Her bail amount is set at $10,000. Reporting live outside the KGET studios here in downtown Bakersfield, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
All right, thanks, Tom, for that update. And we are approaching another grim milestone in Kern County. We are nearing 1,100 deaths. Public health officials announced 19 new deaths today. Our death toll now stands at 1,094 lives lost to COVID-19. Nearly 100 new deaths have been announced since Wednesday, when we surpassed 1,000 deaths. January is by far our deadliest month, with at least 316 people dying from the virus. Meantime, the spread of the virus is significantly slowing. Public Health announced 43 new cases today. On average, 73 people are testing positive every day. 100 people are currently in the hospital being treated for more acute symptoms of COVID-19. 15 are being treated in intensive care units. We haven't seen numbers this low since early October. And with local coronavirus deaths totaling nearly 1,100 now, 17 News is reaching out to those who have lost loved ones. We've provided a space for the community to honor those who died by uploading their photos and sharing their names and memories. We're calling it Those We've Lost Gallery. If you'd like to post a picture, we have a link on our website, kget.com. Now to some good news for local business owners. Kern County is expected to move into the red tier of coronavirus restrictions tomorrow. Now, a county must meet the metrics for 2 weeks before it can officially move into a less restrictive tier. Kern met the red tier metric for the first time last week. Now, if that downward trend continues as expected, Kern will move into the red tier tomorrow. That's Tuesday. The state uses 3 categories to determine when counties can move into less restrictive tiers: the daily number of cases per 100,000 people, the positivity rate, and the positivity rate in disadvantaged areas. All 3 categories meet red tier numbers, and the red tier restaurants can open for indoor dining, along with gyms, movie theaters, and schools with modifications. And Bakersfield College has made strides in making the vaccine more accessible to residents on the east side. Yesterday, the campus hosted Kern County's first ever drive-through mass vaccination clinic. Everyone who signed up received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, meaning this was their first and final shot. The drive-through was organized by Bakersfield College, the Central Labor Council, and Latino COVID-19 Task Force, and Centric Foundation. Bakersfield College had multiple vaccination clinics in the past few months. Every clinic reached maximum enrollment.
People like to go where they're comfortable, where they feel an affinity, and of course, Bakersfield College people are familiar with it, so we will be here as needed.
Organizers say they hope to continue this drive-through, but it all depends on the community's needs. And meantime, multiple organizations teamed up to get our local farm workers vaccinated over the weekend. The United Farm Workers, Cesar Chavez Foundation, the Latino COVID-19 Task Force, and the County of Kern came together to hold a mass vaccination site at 40 Acres in Delano on Saturday and Sunday. A fitting site as it served as the first headquarters for the United Farm Workers back in the 60s. If you missed it, don't worry though. They plan to keep the event going next weekend. It's scheduled for every Saturday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And in addition to farm workers, anyone age 65 or older, healthcare workers and first responders are also eligible to get the vaccine, plus teachers, childcare workers, those in emergency services, pregnant women, and people with serious health conditions like cancer, type 2 diabetes, and chronic kidney disease are also eligible. So are people with developmental disabilities and those in certain work settings like public transit or the prison system. And a reminder, you can sign up for a vaccine appointment at other locations using the state's website, myturn.ca.gov. You can also call 833-422-4255 to schedule an appointment. Now in our 17 Crime Watch, the investigation continues this afternoon following a string of suspicious deaths around town. 5 bodies found, 2 in Oildale in a home, 2 about a mile away from that location, and another in East Bakersfield. Each body was found Friday. Law enforcement still won't say exactly what happened, but here's what we know so far. The first 2 bodies were found around noon in Oildale at a house on the corner of El Tejon and Hurl Avenue. Family members say the 2 were relatives.
There was no gunshots. There was nothing like that. It was at least a good 10, 15 detectives.
Now, hours later, at around 3 p.m., 2 other bodies were found at a home on Castaic Avenue across the street from the Kern County Sheriff's Office. These bodies were about a mile and a half away from the first 2, but KCSO says these deaths are not related. Neighbors speculate it was a murder-suicide, but we still have not confirmed that with KCSO. There was a 5th death in Bakersfield near the Walmart in East Brundage Lane at around 7 p.m. Bakersfield police arrived to find a female with obvious signs of trauma who later died. Anyone with information on these 5 suspicious deaths is asked to contact the Kern County Sheriff's Department at 861-3110 or call Bakersfield Police at 327-7111. And 17's Perla Shaheen will have more on this coming up tonight at 5. And the Sheriff's Office is investigating after a man was shot early Saturday morning in Wasco. KCSO says deputies were sent to the 1500 block of Sycamore Drive around 3 a.m. after a 37-year-old man reported that he had been shot. When deputies arrived, they found the man and rushed him to Kern Medical for treatment. KCSO says the man suffered from non-life-threatening injuries. There is no suspect information at this time. And a man is behind bars for reportedly assaulting a man in Bodfish. According to Kern Valley deputies, it happened Sunday morning around 3 on Lake Drive near Caliente Bodfish Road. Deputies say they found a man with significant injuries to his face. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Deputies located the suspect and placed him under arrest for assault with a deadly weapon. Meantime, the Bakersfield Police Department is asking for the community's help in finding a woman who has been missing since last week. According to BPD, 28-year-old Laura Rodriguez was last seen on March 12th when she was released from the Kern County Sheriff's Building on L Street just before 9 a.m. The department said Rodriguez is without needed medication. Anyone with information on Rodriguez's whereabouts is urged to contact the Bakersfield Police Department at 327-7111. And now to an issue we follow closely here at TV 17, Kern's sober reality. Now, 2 people were arrested and 31 were cited during a DUI driver's license checkpoint over the weekend. The Bakersfield Police Department conducted the checkpoint in the 3000 block of New Stein Road between 6 p.m. on Saturday and 2 a.m. on Sunday, screening more than 1,000 vehicles. 2 people were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol. The department said 16 drivers were cited for driving without a license and 15 for driving on a suspended license. The fate of one of Kern's favorite traditions hangs in the balance. The Kern County Fair Board of Directors is expected to decide today whether we'll have a Kern County Fair this year. There are worries that due to the slow rollout of the vaccine earlier this year, not enough people will be vaccinated to justify opening the fair to the public. Fair CEO Mike Olcott is making a statement at the recent board meeting. If the board agrees, that could mean a wait until 2022 to experience rides, games, and food at the fairgrounds. The board is also considering applying for a second round of Paycheck Protection Program loans. In your 17 Business Watch, Dutch Bros fans have something to look forward to. The chain is looking to expand across Bakersfield. A sign has been put up at the old Burger King on California Avenue. Now, over the summer, Dutch Brothers did confirm to 17 News they have several locations planned for the city. 3 or possibly even 4 of the shops will be coming in the future. The first Dutch Bros opened in Bakersfield last summer. It's on Lowe's on Columbus Street in the northeast Bakersfield. And Krispy Kreme is offering a sweet incentive to encourage more people to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Starting today, customers who show up with a valid COVID vaccination card at any Krispy Kreme store will get a free original glazed donut. No purchase is necessary, and the offer is good until the end of the year. The chain says the promotion is a long-term for a reason, as not everyone is eligible for the vaccine just yet.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.